calling from?
Um, Paradise in St. John, Newfoundland.
Oh, okay, great, 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 great. Sure, that's good to know. Anyone else to share what they've learned and I mean what the experience has been like for them and how I mean this will kind of shape their career path moving forward.
And just a reminder, we have some students on who aren't part of our internship as well. So,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
So
Great.
maybe a wider question would be something like if they've attended any sessions or anything they've learned over the summer.
Yeah, sure. I think that's a good one. Thanks for the reminder. I mean, so in my mind it was just for the codes, but yeah, thanks, Susan. So yeah, probably anything you want to share with us, how your summer has been. Did you have to work or you had to travel? Did you have to do something fun? Just share with us before we start this presentation. Okay, let me go and check my chat and see what's going on there. Or Samuel and Susan, if that's fine with you, you probably could read some of the comments for me.
Sure, yeah. So Zachary said it's been very informative. I think Victory is talking about his camera. There's some stuff going on in the background.
Okay.
And no other comments so far, except for me. I said I've met a lot of amazing students this summer, which
Okay.
is true. Oh,
Yeah.
Shaza? Oh, we can't hear you, hon. Nope, still can't hear you.
Okay. So Shiza, probably you could type in a message or something. All right, sure. I don't know. We probably have to get you know starting by now. But I believe whatever your experience has been this summer, whether you got an opportunity to work with Tetteh or you go, I mean you had something different doing. We believe I mean this story that we are sharing today should be able to kind of inspire you from a different in the culture and or something like that. Um,
Shaza,
I
Shaza
okay.
said that she just finished finished presenting the project she was working on. So that's a big accomplishment.
Wow, wow, that's so cool. Congrats, Shiva. Congrats on that. Congrats on that. Yeah, so I mean, starting off from where I ended, I think this experience has been good. I know people have different experiences, but for me, as someone who was working on this project with students and employers, I believe it has given me a different perspective on, you know, what to expect when I work more with students from a different cultural perspective. I've had an experience of working with students, but from a different angle or from a different culture. So this alone it has been a cultural knowledge that I've gained in that regard. We in the past weeks we've had presentations on how to develop resumes that was done by Samuel. We've had a presentation on social media and LinkedIn and all that, which was done last week by Haley. We've also yesterday we had an extensive networking, I mean, session, which really went well. And of course, in as much as we've gathered all these experiences, it's important for us to look at the real life I mean experience. Look at the real life journey of some of the people you work with in the past couple of weeks. So yeah, I mean, I'm doing this presentation on my experience as a professional and I mean a graduate student from Ghana. So for people that are not aware, I'm from Ghana. I was born in Ghana. I've lived my whole life in Ghana. In as much as I've traveled to other African countries, I live most of my life in Ghana. I was in Uganda for a week, and then same as South Africa for a week as well. So yeah, I mean, just to give you an overview of who I am, I I grew up in a family of four. I was the last, boy of three beautiful, I mean sisters. So it makes me feel, kind of pampered. I'll say I had a humble beginning. And my father worked as a hotel receptionist until he retired in 2019. So there's one interesting story about me and my dad. So my dad retired on the first day I started my first, professional work experience. So he retired on the 4th October, and then I started my first work experience on that very same day with PricewaterhouseCoopers. I'm sure some of you may have heard about PricewaterhouseCoopers. So he kind of handed over the baton to me to kind of continue, I mean, the journey of life. That's how I felt from my side. My mom, I mean, and I mean, it's good to share that both parents are alive and they are doing very, very well. My mom also ran a bookshop for some time. She was also engaged in, other businesses that didn't go well. But I mean, she kind of provided the best support that any other mom could do. She ensured we were, disciplined. We did the right thing. She instilled in us a lot of discipline. Whilst my dad was away, she maintained the home and ensured everything, went well. I mean, she wasn't much, I mean, exposed regarding education, but she did as much as possible for us to have a smooth childhood experience, and I'm very grateful to them. It's my prayer that one day I would, probably in the near future, probably in my graduation, I'll just fly them over here to St. John's to have a great experience of how Canada looks like. I grew up in a very collectivistic, I mean, culture. I mean, Africa and I think some parts of Asia have a collectivistic culture. I mean, collectivistic in the sense that we do everything together. So we see ourselves as one, and we live in compound houses, right? We live in compound houses in the sense that you could have a big compound like an acre of land where you have several houses, surrounded I mean, surrounded or within that, I mean, acre of land. And it's I mean, those houses are built in a way that you have some sense of communism and you have some sense of respect, and then you have some sense of, you know, um, care for each other. Unlike in other contexts where you find people living in their own spaces, living in their own rooms, and they don't even know their next door neighbor. For Africa, it's quite different. I mean, that said, it is important to mention that we have a bit of collectivistic cultures in some, I mean, parts of Africa. So what you find now is that people have estates, or live in mansions, and they have that kind of privacy to be on their own without sharing boundaries, or without sharing or having like neighbors that they can easily communicate or interact with. So it's a mixture of different cultures, but I would say that it's highly collectivistic, right? So in collectivist culture, like I said, you do everything together. So you have shared washrooms, and you have like open I mean kitchen. So you walk out of your room, and I mean all your cooking utensils and everything is it's outside. That's where you do your cooking. That's where you do everything. So it's kind of a big difference, in this contest. So the picture I have here is one of my favorites. I mean, pictures. It's a picture of a family. So it has different, I mean, generations. So you have the mother and the father, and then you realize that they brought up different offspring. So probably a second generation or a third generation picture you have here. So it reminds me of how I mean I mean, from where I come from, there's great importance on family and family ties, and I know it's similar here in Canada as well, where issues of family have a great effect on people's well-being. So this is, a little bit about my family. I think in this contest, I also wanted to kind of create a bigger picture of a journey, right, throughout my education, and then where I find myself now in terms of work experience. So I would say I I really, from the beginning, that's from probably from my kindergarten stages. I wasn't an education person. Let me put it that way. So I have a story to share. On my first day in school, I cried that I wasn't going to go to school. The reason being that I I I didn't find myself leaving home at that early age, right? Because you can imagine staying home for like I think I started school at the age of 3 years or so. So you can imagine, being used to your parents, being used to your family and friends in the same house, and then moving out from that contest and spending most of your day with a different set of people. So on my first day I cried that I wouldn't stay in school, but of course I had no option. I just had to go through it. Why I'm saying that is I never even thought of having a second master's now, but of course that is what the story is now, and I'm really proud of where I am and where I see myself in future. So as you can see, I have a bachelor's in psychology from the University of Ghana. I later had an opportunity to pursue a master's in industrial and organizational psychology from the same school. And then, yeah, now I'm here at MAN studying a master's in employment relations. As we go along, I'll probably be, doing an interconnectedness between my education and my work experience. So after my bachelor's degree in 2013, I I kind of worked briefly, but it wasn't so much of a detailed work. I did some research work for a research organization that is in Innovations for Poverty Action. They are actually based in the US. So we kind of collected data for them, and then they use it for their own research and reporting. So I during that period I kind of was like, well, um, I like research, right? So why don't I, go back to school and do some more, great stuff. So I got the opportunity to, study for my master's degree in 2016. And then during that period, I served as a teaching assistant and a research assistant as well. That was between 2017 to 2019. So fast forward to when I had completed my master's, in Ghana. An opportunity came up for a consulting role in PwC Ghana. So PwC is PricewaterhouseCoopers. So I stayed with PwC for almost 3 years, and then I got another opportunity as a people operations specialist. So in this role, I kind of was like the Ghana rep for MFS Africa. MFS Africa, it's an organization based in South Africa, and it goes back to tell you what I said previously, that I spent a week in South Africa. When I was with this team, that was where my manager is, and I spent it was a good experience for me, I would say. um but for some other reasons, or for whatever reason, the company did a restructuring, and then I was affected along the line. So I just stayed with them for 6 months, and then I lost my job. So in the process of going through the process and transitioning from one job to the other, I had a couple of, interviews, but it didn't go well. So I was like, well, probably I could start some, HR consulting. So I started, some HR consult, but it wasn't as, much as, I had expected. I didn't do much, in this space, but as and when it comes, I'm open to doing, great stuff in freelancing or HR consulting. So fast forward to when I landed in Memorial University of St. John's August 3rd. I I also served as a teaching assistant just until when I got an opportunity in May to work as a work integrated learning coordinator with Tetteh. And I'm sure some of you have seen what we do as work integrated learning coordinators. So for those that are not aware, so after students have been assigned to the various employers, we as tech learning tech sorry work integrated learning coordinators serve as like a linkage between students and employers. So we kind of, hand students over to employers, and we kind of support them along the line. For some of you, it's the first time of, working in a, professional workspace. So we kind of, give you the support and everything that you need to have a good, experience. So that's a bit about my education and my work experience. So this is probably I don't know. Can you make a good guess? Who? So on the left and on the right, is someone able to identify who I am in this picture?
The left.
The left. Okay. Who else? I don't know if are there some comments coming in.
Yes, someone said the right. Someone else, yep. Two other people said the right.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, I would say left.
Okay.
Both are very cute. It's hard to say.
Yeah.
Another one saying right. Okay, it's looking majority thinks right.
Okay.
Are you gonna tell us?
Okay. So yeah. So your guess is as good as mine. So the picture, so I am the one on the right with my hand in my pocket. So this is my cousin, my cousin that we lived with back home, and very good guy. I'm still in touch with him. We talk most of the time. So we lived together for some time, and so we had that kind of resemblance. So you probably would think I'm a twin, but this is Duke now. The Duke, that's him now. So yeah, thanks for that. So um this is my time at. I had to cover these faces because I didn't want to kind of show their faces. So this is me here. This is my time during PricewaterhouseCoopers. These are my lovely friends. And I'm still in touch with them. I talk to them, once a while. And on the right is, one my last night with PricewaterhouseCoopers. So I was given a present to take home. I was given a pair of shoes and then a belt to match. So that is me, and that's about my work experience. Because I think I had a number of pictures when I went to South Africa, but it's probably on my other phone, and I couldn't have access to it to share. So yeah, I thought to also share why I came to St. John's. So let me give you a bit of history. I mean how I came up with St. John's or man, let me say. So back home, I was looking up for new challenge. I felt that if I think I'm an HR consultant, I should be able to kind of fit in anywhere I find myself globally, whether it's in Canada, whether it's in the US, whether it's in Europe, somewhere in Germany or Spain or anywhere in the world. I kind of wanted to define myself as a global, HR consultant and not a local champion that others would say. So I thought the only way to kind of explore that is to also learn from different cultures. So and the only way to get into the system for me, or the easiest route, was through in school. So I was looking out for programs that are HR inclined. I had a couple of them that had industrial organization, but I was like, I don't think I want to do industrial and organizational psychology. So I settled on employment relations. And for most of the schools that I got, the most of the programs are kind of aligned to the business school. So I came up with two schools. It was McMaster University and then Memorial University. So these were the schools that were not, aligned. Sorry, attached to the business school. They had their own program, and then for the reason that I went for these two, they don't have GRE or GMAT requirements. So it was a good thing for me. I never liked GRE or GMAT because in most cases, or research has found that your GMAT or GRE score wouldn't show or indicate whether you do well in graduate school. So these were the two schools that I settled on, and I applied for both schools. Unfortunately, McMaster was really competitive. I reached out to see where the problem was, and then I think I was told that they only accepted is it 6 or 8 students for the program. So I was just waiting patiently to hear from Memorial University man, and then good thing is I got a spot. So I got my admission in 2022. Yes, just when I joined my new company, that's MFS Africa. So I was like, MFS Africa, trust me, was a good offer, right? So I couldn't just leave, and then I needed to also gather, some money, save some money to kind of come to man. So I stayed on for a while. The plan was to stay on for a while, make some money, and then once I'm coming to St. John's, it will be an easy, breezy for me. But for whatever reason, I always say it was a blessing in disguise. Losing my job with MFS Africa was a blessing in disguise because I think I got some, decent amount of money to make that, transition or to move into St. John's. But I feel, having lived here for a year, I feel the people of St. John's or probably Newfoundland are generally nice people and welcoming. So one of the cultural shocks that I had was whenever someone, I use the metro bus a lot, and I realized that whenever someone drops up, or a passenger drops off from a car, they show appreciation to the bus driver, which is not something we do back home. Back home you find, I mean, passengers and drivers, fighting all the time. So it was a big deal, seeing that. Here, and even in the bus, you find people saying hi to you. Getting to know you, in as much as they don't know you that much. They tell you a lot of things, right? So you could meet someone there and then, and they'll tell you a whole lot about themselves, which is, kind of different from back home. Back home, people are um kind of very secretive in a way and do not want to kind of tell you more too many things about them. They want to kind of know you very well, and once they are comfortable with you, that's when they kind of open up. In this situation, you find a lot of people, opening up and very welcoming. That's what I find here. And you find people, opening doors and holding doors for you to walk in and all that, which I feel is so cool. One other thing that I also enjoyed here is, in St. John's, it's not as busy as, the big provinces. So like the Ottawa, the Montreals, and and the BCs and all that. It's kind of an easy integration process. If you are coming here as a newcomer, and I also found it as a good thing. So there's a growing African community here, and because the people of St. John's are welcoming, it kind of, you know, easy for us to, integrate. And you could find an acceptance of multicultural. Perspective. So it was a good thing for me here. And one thing I also, found about Man is that it has one of the most affordable tuitions in Canada, or specifically in the Atlantic region. If you compare the fees that I'm paying, I'm probably paying up around 20,000. The same program at McMaster was over 40,000. So it tells you how, Man has, one of the best. And then of course we have some of the best professors. Here at Man, and it's the cost of living is relatively, cheaper compared to, other provinces. I've heard of stories where people pay probably $1,000 for a month, for the same facility, or for the same room that I am enjoying here in St. John's. And that's not alone. They also get to pay their utilities and everything on their own. But when I compare that to what we have here in St. John's, I feel it's great. So I think St. John's is kind of a great place to grow. It's kind of a great place to kind of develop yourself. And then once you get to a point in your life and you want to move out, it's absolutely up to you. But I think St. John's is a beautiful, beautiful place that you can make a lot of opportunities here.
Duke,
And
I asked in the chat if anyone moved to Newfoundland or Canada from a different province or
okay.
country. And looks like there's a student here whose parents moved here from Bangladesh, and a student who was born in Nigeria.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
So you might be
Great.
resonating with some of you.
Great. Oh wow, that's good to know. Are they ready to share something with us?
I can.
Yeah, sure, go on.
So my name is Victory. I was born in Nigeria and moved here. Actually, came here first time ever, just
Mm-hmm.
like for a holiday. My cousin's 2013. And
Mm-hmm.
I actually moved here 2016 December. So I've been
Okay.
here since. But yeah,
Okay. Great, great,
that's what I
great.
have to say.
Great. And I don't know if what I'm saying kind of resonates with your experience.
Yeah, I completely agree with everything you're saying. Every single thing.
Great, great. Sure. Thanks. Who else want to share their experience?
Jade's mic isn't working. If you
Okay.
want to try typing something, you can, but if it's too much, that's okay.
All right. So can I move on?
Yeah, I think so. Someone can
All right, sure.
still type in the chat. Yeah.
Okay, sure. So what makes working in tech, in Newfoundland and Labrador different from other big cities? So the good thing about this province is a fact that it appears, and you could correct me. I had a different perspective when I first came in. It was a big challenge, getting a job, and especially you can imagine when my family is back home. I have no, I have a couple of friends here, but others in different provinces, and just a few in St. John's. So you can imagine moving from a different temperate zone. And I'm sure my friend from Nigeria could attest to this. Sorry, I didn't get the name, but
Victory.
Africa, Victor, great, thanks. Africa is, I wouldn't say it's warm. Africa is really hot. Victor.
Yeah, yeah.
Great. And it's this is the thing. It's kind of hot all year round. So coming into a different space where I had to, cope with the weather. I had to cope with getting opportunities to enter the professional space was a big challenge for me. And especially when family is not here to provide that, support that you wanted. But 1 year down the line, so I celebrated my first year anniversary in August. Sorry, on August 3rd. And but 1 year down the line, there's been lots of um, opportunities. There's been lots of eye-opening opportunity that I think um, this province has, and it is up to us to make the best out of it. You and the good thing about here is it's not as populated as I mean the big cities where you have about 5 million, 2 million in BC or so, and you have about 5 million or so in Ottawa, right? The good thing here is the numbers. So you have a community where there's a lot of collaboration, and once you know a few people, that few connections could connect you to other big guys within the province. And that's the most important part. I mean, for me in this experience, or in this tech immersion program that tech and all is organizing the networking events. And in our session yesterday, I asked some of our students to kind of connect with their employers, because you may never know what this could bring up. And we just had a session with Pingwa. So I'm sure those who were part of this program or are part of this program know about Pingwa. So Pingwa, it's for those who do not know, Pingwa is like an organization that organizes or trains students on tech skills. So digital marketing skills, coding, programming, software, data analysis, and all that. And one of the things that he shared with us was a student who reached out to them to kind of collaborate. In future, and we feel it's a good or a cool deal for us. So that's the kind of benefit you get from living in such a province where the population is not so huge, right? Lots of opportunities, and of course, because it's a slow, I wouldn't say slow, but because I'm looking for a word to kind of describe it, but it's not as fast paced as the bigger provinces. So it helps you to kind of you know have an access to amazing nature, right? So one of the things that I feel this province also has is the fact that it has a beautiful landscape. The hills, the lots of lakes and water bodies around. And if you are stressed, you could just walk some few meters away and have a view of the lakes, or probably spend some time at the playground to kind of wind off. So it provides access to amazing you know nature, and great opportunity for work life balance. So in some organizations, and especially for where we are now at Tech, the co-IC, those are some of the things we want to kind of implement in this space. Have a great working environment where people will feel, you know, energized whenever they come to the office. I think this province also has, an incredible, companies that are selling, globally. Talk of Verafin, Nasdaq, talk of Spellbook. It was just recently that I got to know that Spellbook is actually St. John's. Is actually, the founders of Spellbook are in St. John's. It was just recently, and it's amazing to know how, I mean, a small province like I mean this province is making or churning out the best of the best. I mean globally, right? So I feel this province, that's Newfoundland and Labrador, it's an opportunity. I mean, it has great opportunities for all, regardless of your level in life, regardless of how experienced you are. It's just for you to make the right connections, and once that is done, you're set for success. So I would like to end my discussion with this video. And once this is done, I'll probably ask for your view on what you think about the video. So let me know if you can hear the sound.
We cannot.
Oh, you cannot hear the sound?
No, you might have to stop sharing and then reshare, make sure the audio is toggled.
Okay.
Just try that.
Okay. Just a minute. So I'm going to share again. Let me know. Oops, no. Is it working now? Oh, is it working now?
No, I'll come over to
Oh,
you.
okay.
Kid's future. And he said to me, my grandfather walked 10 miles to work every day.
So
My father
can we hear
walked
now?
5.
Yep.
I'm driving a Cadillac.
Great. So let me take it back.
And make it full screen as well.
Okay. So I'm going to make it
Yeah.
full screen here.
Yep, present. Yeah, perfect. Thank you.
I had a conversation with a friend one day, and we was talking about family and life, and I asked him, how do you see your kid's future? And he said to me, my grandfather walked 10 miles to work every day. My father walked 5. I'm driving a Cadillac. My son is in a Mercedes. He said my grandson will be in a Ferrari. But he said my great grandson will be walking again. So I asked him, I said, well, why is that? And he said to me, tough times create strong men. Strong men create easy times. Easy times create weak men. Weak men create tough times. He said to me, many will not understand, but you have to raise warriors. That's what coach instilled in me and so many like me. The strength and courage of a warrior. I had a conversation with a friend.
Oh, yes. So that's the video. I believe it's an inspiring video, and I want to hear your comments on that. What do you think?
I think it's
Very,
realistic. Sorry, it wasn't
Yeah.
okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Sure.
think
Go on.
it's very realistic. Like
Yeah.
the fact that yeah, at one stage the generation will start walking again,
Mm-hmm.
and uh, I think it's the analogy that like uh, tough times create strong men. Very
Mm-hmm.
true. Very true.
Yeah.
Yep.
Thanks.
Oh, great video.
Thanks, Samuel. Anybody else wants to share their experience? I mean, does this resonate with your experience in life? I mean, it doesn't matter if it does not. But is there anything you took away from this video that you want to share with us?
I would say be ready for the tough times to come so you can persevere. That's what I would say. Because tough times will always come, but you have to be ready to persevere through them.
Yeah. Thanks. And that's the point in life that he referred to as creating warriors. Yeah. Thanks, Victor.
No
Yeah,
problem.
I think what resonates with me is even if a lot of things kind of come easy to you, there's bound to be some things that don't, and learning how to first accept that maybe you have a flaw or maybe you have a weakness is a huge hurdle for people to understand. You know, I know many of my friends went through high school and never had to study for a test, never had to work that hard to pass their grades. And then when they got to university, life really changed because university courses are a lot different and there's not as much support as there is in high school. So for them, it was really hard to accept, right, that it wasn't as easy as it was for them before. Myself, I always had to study. I was home studying when my friends in high school were out at movies, and I had to stay home and make sure I really worked hard. And when I joined university, I didn't have that barrier as much, but then I also had to learn how to balance my life a little bit better because I found I was always studying, I was always working really hard and not really getting to enjoy the other aspects of life, especially in university. So there's always bound to be hurdles, and I think just learning how to accept them and move through them is important. And it's not even just about getting to the other end; it's about learning about what's on that path.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks, Susan. So your story reflects, a story of sacrifice, and I believe it's paying off now. Thanks for that.
There's some comments there in the chat.
Yes.
Shaza said, I agree with that, no doubt. Lucas said, I think it's very interesting how it speaks to that sort of cycle. It's very eye-opening and also inspiring to help the next generation face problems, even if there are fewer. Shaza said, I find that it's the importance of going outside your comfort zone. You'll never truly grow unless you take that chance. And Zachary said, I've heard that quote before. I don't quite understand how it suggests that society is doomed to backslide into bad times and we have to crawl back to good times only to repeat the process all over again.
Great. Great. Yeah. So I I I I kind of, I mean, all the comments, all the story, sharing of stories about their, I mean, people's personal lives. I mean, it's something that I agree with, and it's kind of throws light on what the video shares. And for me, I mean, like I mentioned earlier, this province has you know lots of opportunities, and there's a reason why we are not as big as the other provinces, right? So it tells you that we could create more opportunities if we make the best out of it. We could create more opportunities if we stay focused. Of course, we can always draw from the experiences of different provinces and other countries. And I mean, I'm tempted to believe that the likes of Verafin, I mean, the likes of Spellbook and Trophy AI have made significant, I mean, strides globally, probably because they are from this region. Because I mean, it tells a story of how they probably started small, and now they are global brand, or they are well sought after. I mean, global brands. So the mantle kind of lies in our hands to kind of make the best use out of the resources that we have. I mean, as young, people. Thank you, and I hope this story has inspired someone. I hope this experience has you know probably enlightened someone's story. I hope this story is going to make an impact. I mean, in our lives, and I look forward to more collaborations with you people. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Duke. Amazing story. So glad you got to share. Sandoz just shared, anyone who don't log off yet, we have company tours available to all participants, whether you're part of the internship program or not. We have companies from all over the metro region of St. John's who are opening their doors to high school students who want to come and see their office space and see what working in tech looks like. There's a form there that you can register for the company of your choosing and the time slot that makes sense for you. So we'd hope to see some of you next week on some of our tours, but thanks to everybody, thanks to our students and to our applicants and everyone who joined. Thank you, Duke, as well.
Thanks, Susan.
Have a great day, everyone.
Thank you,
Thank
everyone.
you very much.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you. Bye.
Let's leave this meeting up in case anyone wants to click that link. Okay, all gone. Hey, Duke, you did it.
Thank you.
Awesome. Great
Thanks.
work.
Great
Thanks.
session, Duke. I really
Thanks.
enjoyed it.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks, Samuel.
I liked your like your family and the cultural background that you talked about in Africa. Like that was great.
Yeah, yeah. And I
That
know,
was
Bangladesh has, like, probably similar kind of,
similar.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, similar kind of contest. Yeah.
it's kind of a hybrid, but then again we have a lot like this, and yeah, like I can relate, and yeah, like it was actually it had emotional touch to it. I liked it very much.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks.
No problem. Great job, bro. Great job.
Great work.
Thank you.
Awesome. See you out in the wild.